Hi, this is Garibay, and today I'm going to be talking about Dungeons & Dragons 6th edition and no longer provisioning smart people for Dungeons & Dragons. Alright, so let's get into it. Alright, so basically what I'm saying is this is a 6th edition change that I am proposing for distinct reasons, and I'll explain the change and I'll explain the reasons. Alright, so 6th edition, the next version of Dungeons & Dragons is going to be a huge opportunity. Right now, essentially, right now with D&D, let's keep it simple, we're at about 10 million players, right, worldwide. Last year was 8.6. We're probably it was the most profitable year for Dungeons & Dragons last year in the history of the game, okay? And we're trended to 10 million if we're not already at 10 million, okay? But I really believe that the correct number for Dungeons & Dragons is between 20 and 40 million people worldwide. Actually, I would say that should be in the U.S. In the U.S. U.S. of A, right? 20 to 40 million people, which is like 5 to 10% of the entire U.S. population, in my opinion, should play Dungeons & Dragons. One of the reasons why is it's just a perfect. It's a modern hobby, right? Whereas sports are just ridiculously not useful hobbies, in my opinion. Overall, and it's just a much better hobby because we're moving toward a knowledge worker society in America, and Dungeons & Dragons is just ideal for that. It really is absolutely ideal for that, right? The other reason why I think we should do why 6th edition is so absolutely important is another reason why is Pong came out in 1972. Okay. It was the first video game. It was the first video game that was in like a case. Like it was in an arcade. It was in an arcade case video game, right? So 1972 is. So check this out. 1972 is the start of video games. 1973 is the start of hip hop. 1974 is Dungeons and Dragons, right? Between 1972 and 1974, some of the most influential elements of Americana were created, right? Now I think there's a whole lot to discuss right there, but I'm going to stay on target. Okay. Now, when Gary Gygax built the game, he built it for smart, artistic creatives, right? That and essentially that's who it is for today. It's for smart, artistic creatives, people who are smart, people who are artistic, and people who are creators and create in an imaginative way. Okay, creatives. All right. Now, the artistic part and the creative, we need to keep those. Right, that's important. Right, but we need to get rid of. We need to no longer provision the game for smart people. And here's why. Okay, we are going to attract smart people with Dungeons and Dragons for the next 25 to 50 years without trying. They're going to gravitate to it naturally, right? And we've been provisioning Dungeons and Dragons for really smart people, for smart people for a long time. And I've thought a lot about this, right? And by the way, I fully recognize that what I'm saying, this is by far the most dramatic change I have suggested for the 6E build, for the Dungeons & Dragons 6E build. And this is an absolute roll of the dice. This could backfire, right? But to me, I don't think we should just sit and be happy with 10 million from 5E, and maybe we go to 12, maybe we go to 14 with 6E, right? I really feel like we need to steal tens of millions of users from video games, which have proven themselves to be a very, very bad ROI hobby, return on investment. Not a return on investment in money, return on investment in time, right? Parents all over the country of America, absolutely no parents are saying, I wish my kid was playing more video games. It's just not happening, right? But there are a lot of parents who are starting to go, oh, snap, I desperately need my kids to play Dungeons & Dragons because I need my kids reading 250 to 750 pages of rules, right? And doing a lot of math and learning how to be socially apt, right? Which is all things that Dungeons & Dragons creates, right? So, here's the thing. I think provisioning smart players to play Dungeons and Dragons, and making Dungeons and Dragons smart person friendly, right? Making it catnip for smart people has massively kept down the number of people who will play it, right? And the reason why is, so the number one thing we've done, right, is length. It's currently, to be a dungeon master, you have to read minimum 750 pages of content, and you have to know it well, which means you have to reread it. So minimum, in order to be a good dungeon master, you are going to be reading 1,000 pages of content. No, without a doubt, because I've reread sections of my book dozens of times, right? So you have to read the DMG, the MM, the PHB, 250 pages each, 750 pages. Then you got to read, then you're going to reread some of that, right? So you're talking 1,000 pages of content. That is, only smart people read 1,000 pages of content, period, right? And we need to get rid of this. So not only do I believe that the PHB, DMG, and the MM need to be smashed into one book, that book has got to be double digits, not 3 digits. It's got to be 99 pages or less, right? And you have to massively revamp the wizards and the sorcerers and every spellcaster in the game. Here's another way we have provisioned smart people. The spellcasting is ridiculously complex. So in order to cast spells, you need to know how many spells your character knows. You have to, and then you have to know what level those spells are. And guess what? Those levels are arbitrarily different than your character level, and might even be arbitrarily different than your caster level, right? So a wizard has, they have a character level, they have a caster level, and they have spell levels, right? And then you have to know which ones did I memorize today, how many can I prepare, what have I cast, did I cast that spell at a higher casting, did I cast that spell at a different caster level than it was originally designed for because it's some kind of weird option. Spell casting is absurdly, complex, right? Why not just say, okay, you're a 5th level wizard, you have 5 spells today, and then you have 5 cantrips that you can cast always, right? And your spells are, for every level you get 1 first level, 1 second level, so a 5th level mage would have 1 first level, 2 second levels, 3 third levels, 4 fourth levels, and 5 fifth levels, right? This is just off the top of my head. It's got to be made simple so people can understand, right? And so, but why am I saying this? Why am I saying we need to, get rid of? Why are we? I don't want to get rid of smart players. What I'm saying is, if we do virtually nothing to provision them, they'll be naturally attracted to it anyway. You can't beat smart people off with a stick from Dungeons and Dragons. They're all over the game, right? The Venn diagram of Dungeons and Dragons players and smart people, that's the same pizza, man. It overlaps almost 100%, right? And I will say it. It's not good. It's not good, right? And I will say, I have enjoyed it as, me as J. Scott Garibay. It's really cool that all my friends are pretty smart because they all play Dungeons and Dragons, right? But the reality is it's not healthy. It's not healthy for the game. It's not healthy. And that's the other thing is I really believe that, Dungeons and Dragons, it's not just a game. It's an element of Americana. It makes our country better. The same way comic books and baseball and jazz, right? Now, I think comic books, baseball are not just for smart people. Jazz is, right? I don't know a ton about jazz. I'm jabbing a little at jazz there, okay? But maybe there's a Scott Garibay out there who has a whole metatextual neo-historical conversation channel about jazz. I'm sure there is, right? So, but my point is, this game needs to stop being just for smart people. It needs to be for everybody, right? And so I think that's important. I really think we need to make this game for everyone. And that means not just smart people, but regular people, right? Who have an average intelligence, are intelligent, they have average intelligence, right? I want tons of people with average intelligence to play Dungeons and Dragons. And I really don't like the idea that there are artistic creatives out there who aren't smart, who are losing, right? Because they don't want to read 1,000 pages worth of content, right? So I really feel like this is the best path for the game. Do nothing in 6E to provision smart people, right? Build the game to be provisioned for artistic creatives. Make it rules elegant, right? And this absolutely can be done. Rules elegant, index card RPG, Black Hack, Tiny Dungeon 2E. These games are rules light, right? No. They go beyond rules light. They are rules elegant. There's a crap ton of rules light games out there. These are rules elegant, and that's what Dungeons & Dragons 6th edition needs to be, so that we can catapult to 40 million American players, which is where the game should be. That's my take. Please consider liking and subscribing. Take care.